we begin tonight's broadcast with a requiem for Facebook.
Entire ecosystems are collapsing.
All right, we're back. that was kind of entertaining. I was into that. So, hey guys, we're back. We missed last week, but we're here. We're live. We're excited. And we've got not one, but two new headsets, as you guys will be able to tell. So last week we were getting ready to go and everybody's equipment broke and it ruined our whole week. So welcome back, everybody. It's Dex's Bull Panel. We've got below me in the Brady Bunch set up here, Cray-Merica. How you doing, man?
Hey, everybody.
We've got Will, HK Trader, over there. I don't know what that picture is. Is he under the sea? Is that a Disney thing?
It's a firework.
Oh, okay.
Hong Kong Island.
Oh, beautiful.
Good evening, guys.
Great to have you back, buddy. And of course, our main dude, Dexiago Capitalist, with his brand new headset.
Yes, you know it.
Oh man, that's smooth. It's like talking to Barry White or something. It's amazing. It's so clear.
I get that a lot.
I know a dude named Barry White, and I'm always asking him for money and everything. He's got no, I can't say he's got it rough. I'll just put it that way. He's a guy from town. But anyway, enough of that. We opened with this beautiful chart from. So, any thoughts on this, you guys? This is the Facebook chart.
Katie barred the door.
Yeah, man. Is this? I mean, I wasn't paying that much attention to it, but I guess the news that they came out with wasn't just a quick news cycle, but was really bad.
Yes.
Because I would have thought by now there would have been some kind of pullback. I mean, it's Facebook.
Apparently, Peter Thiel stepped down from the board. That was the reasoning that they gave behind the further drop today. I mean, of course, they always just make up news afterwards, though.
Peter Thiel was on the Facebook board?
You know, I was surprised about that, too.
Yeah. Wow. That's wild.
Well, you know, Facebook was bound. This was bound to happen. They kept it. I mean, look, let me start from the beginning. Facebook is the perfect example of the condition of the U.S. economy. You can only keep things afloat for so long before the house of cards comes tumbling down. And that's exactly what you saw with Facebook. Throughout last summer, every video we did, it showed you that it was not stopping. Every time Facebook would pull back, people would come in and support it and bid it right back up again. And it just kept going, doing it over and over again like it was no tomorrow. But then finally, the emperor had no clothes and people's eyes were open and they could see it. It didn't help that they dragged Zuckerberg before Congress and had him and was grilling him. All right. And then all these facts come out about how the company was run and what it's been up to and things of that nature. So we knew that this was coming. Facebook is this new age of young people. This is their Enron. Facebook is the young people's Enron.
Wow.
Generation Z's Enron.
I have one point to make on that part. Let's go ahead, Dex.
No, what did you say?
Well, remember there's a day last year they have a outage just for everything stopped.
Yeah, their services too. It was like
that's the hint. That's the hint. You just tell people, hey, you got to get out of this path.
Yeah, absolutely. So now we have this generation's Enron being exposed. Okay, how they make money was not how you thought they made money. They make money by selling your information to the governments of the world. They're no different than Oliver North selling arms. So they're selling data for for hostages right now. Wow. So that's what it is. It's no longer gun running or cocaine smuggling. It's now data hustling. Everybody's hustling data. There was a commercial a few years ago, I remember, where the guy is sitting at a bar and he sees an attractive woman and he's like, yo, okay, let me get that number. So she gave him his number, and then the guy sitting next to the guy who she gave the number to said, hey, I'll give you $5 for her number. He said, okay. And then he sells her phone number right in front of her to the guy sitting next to him. So that's exactly what's been going on. You know, every time you fill out a mortgage application or a credit card application, or you buy or sell anything, that information, that data is then being parsed and sold to the highest bidder. Now, I'll let you guys in on a little secret. This is a secret that the public in general did not know about. They may or may not know about it now, maybe. I'm not sure if everyone still knows this or not. So this may come as a shock to some of our listeners tonight. All right, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Data mining, data hustling, whatever you want to call it, it's been going on a lot longer than you realize. I would say that it was conceived. Data hustling was conceived during the housing boom that lasted between 2005 until like 2007. During that 2-year period, some companies got together and thought it would be a great, wonderful idea, spectacular idea, if we could, instead of selling people leads, what if we just start selling people altogether? Now, let me explain what that means. You know, your credit bureaus, your Equifax and TransUnion and all of that. Well, they decided, they said, you know, since we are the Federal Reserve of the whole credit system, we can do what we darn well please. Why don't we do this? Why don't we put together a package where we will sell people's personal private information to the highest bidder, to all the banks and all the mortgage lenders and mortgage brokers out there. We will sell them these leads. It will have the person's name, address, credit score, financial information, how much they make, how much they earn, where they live, excuse me, all types of data, excuse me, that you could require and ask for. And they had it into not an app like you would say today, because, you know, this is before the smartphone era, excuse me, but what they would do is you could go, if you were a official, you had to be official. This couldn't be anybody. You had to be official. You had to be an official lender or some type of bank or mortgage company, right? And then you could pay Equifax and say, I want you to give me, I want everyone's credit score that's 500 to, let's say, 620. And I want them in this particular state. I want this particular area, whatever. And then you had the premium leads was, excuse me, all the heads, the CEOs of corporations. You could even have it broken down by profession. I want a bunch of doctors in, let's say, Seattle, Washington. I want all the doctors. I want all the neurosurgeons. Go ahead and hook me up with that name, address, phone number, credit score, and income. And you could pay for these leads. That's right. You could buy this information because the credit score companies were selling your information. It's early, going all the way back to the early 2000s. I'm not kidding. It hit its height during the mortgage crisis between 05 and 07 was when it was going full bore. But something happened. 05, 07 was its zenith, but something came out of that. Other companies thought and said, you know what? Equifax, TransUnion, you guys, you got it going on. Now that's a wonderful idea. I think I can do one better. So for $80, there was a company that I could pay $80 right now, $80, and I could get all the information on any individual in the country I wanted for $80. It would tell me everything about you, where you live, your phone numbers, your neighbors, who are your neighbors, where you work, where you've lived in the last 10 years, all of your demographic information, all of your personal information for $80. And you know what made this one so devious? Is that you didn't have to be a bank or a mortgage broker. You could just be anybody. Pay the $80 and you will have your information. It was a digital private eye platform. And you could do this for anybody. That's right. So Facebook is not the first person to do what they have been doing.
Yep.
They just got caught, put it that way.
Just the worst of all time.
They were the ones who made it cool.
Yes. And notice how they changed their name now to Meta. What we're experiencing is 1989 all over again. This is the rush now. We went from an industrial age to the information age. Now it's more complex, not just information, but it's the data age. They took all that information to build their own matrix. Now they want everyone, since you're already used to being online all day, you're used to being on social media all day, you're used to doing all that stuff. So it's just a hop, skip, and a jump for you to be in a virtual world. You know, this virtual world is better than your old humdrum reality. Why do that? All you got to do is put on this virtual reality headset and these gloves that act as your joystick or your controller, your Joy-Con, and you can move and navigate throughout this metaverse. So you don't have to physically go to the store. You can go to the metaverse store. Why go to the physical Walmart? No, that's so old. That's so 100 years ago. Go to the virtual Walmart. You go in and it looks just like your real life Walmart. You have to walk. There's a drive, there's a drive place where you cars parked, everything, and you just go in and everything is virtual, and we make it look real as whatever. We got 4K graphics. You can interact with other people. Everything's in the digital world. And here's going to be the catch, and they'll probably do commercials like this. Don't be surprised if you see it. Hey, are you a loser? Do you suck at life? Well, now you can escape. Come to such and such tropical city metaverse. Or if you really want some excitement in your life, come to Liberty City metaverse. That's right. The real Liberty City metaverse. You can do whatever you want. Theft is not against the law. Murder is not against the law. This is Grand Theft Auto, the metaverse.
That's how I was about to say that same thing. That's Grand Theft Auto.
Yes.
Real life version.
You can even get a job where you have to go in and it looks like you're going into a real office and you see your coworkers and you sit down in a cubicle and you're actually literally working. It's just you're doing it in the metaverse. Soon you'll be doing everything in the metaverse. You'll go to the doctor's office in the metaverse. And soon they'll make it a new reality. No one will operate in our current reality anymore. You'll only operate in the metaverse. And if you do bad and get arrested and locked up in the metaverse, you're really in jail in the metaverse. Your character can't get out of prison. You're in prison because you broke whatever law or rule. So now you're in prison.
Just take off your headset.
Can't. Well, you can, but where's the fun in that? You're just going to ride it out. You're going to keep on the headset. No one's going to want to leave. This is the Matrix movie coming to real life. Now, you may think it's funny and that, no, that'll never happen. But I'm here to tell you It is going to happen because it's already happening. Just like people didn't think that what I'm about to show you next would never happen. So let me pull it up and show you. Share my screen with you. Check this out. Tell me how many people remember this.
Sorry. You do it.
Okay.
We were both hitting buttons. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. No, you all right.
No, you have to do it again. You have to do it again.
Okay. All right, here we go. Okay. This here is your Bitcoin chart. Do you recall when Bitcoin was right here the week of November the 12th of 2021, when Bitcoin nipped just shy of the $70,000 mark? And we on this bull panel warned you, begged you, pleaded with you to pop your way through it and book some gains, book some Satoshis. People laughed and said we didn't know what we were talking about. The Bitcoin is on its way to 100,000 or 1,000,000 or 1 billion or 1 trillion. And then we had this. You went from 70,000 all the way down to 32,855 the week of January the 28th. So in 2 little months, you crashed and lost everything. Everything. Erased your gains for the entire year. How do you live with yourself? This is the reality, folks.
Man.
Don't say what can't happen. Here's another thing. People think that this is a game. It's not a game, ladies and gentlemen. Everything I'm showing you is real. Get ready for $10 a gallon gas. They're already panicking and talking about it. Here it is. Look at this chart. This is your crude oil futures. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We hit a high of $93.17 a barrel in crude oil the week of February the 4th. And here we are, just shy of getting to that $100 mark. Let me explain something to you that you're not going to want to hear. They were panicking and they've been talking about it all day. It was on the Bloomberg. It was everywhere. They're afraid because they have ruined the global economy. They're afraid now that they're going to run out of energy, run out of gas, run out of oil. You mean there's no more oil in the ground? Oh, no, there's plenty of oil in the ground. They're just not going to be able to get it to you. Now, I want that to sink in just for a moment. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You don't think it can happen? Get ready because it's already happening. The word on the street is as soon as crude oil, WTI crude oil futures hit $100 a barrel, you will see your gas at the pump explode to $10 per gallon. There will be a disconnect between the actual futures market and what you see happening at your local gas station. Remember the little gas crisis we had a little while ago where, pumps here on the East Coast, we couldn't find no gas. Gas stations was bum dry. Something that we were told could never happen again in America since the 1970s fuel crisis. They said that will never happen again. We have rectified it. We have built out our commodities, futures exchanges and stuff. We are good to go. We got the strategic petroleum reserve. That will never happen. We will never be without it. And what happened?
Didn't they blame that on a cyber attack?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well,
they could use any excuse they want.
Well,
use any excuse they want. But the truth of the matter was they had no trucks moving. There was no oil going nowhere.
Yeah. Well, no, I mentioned that because they had been seeding this idea of the cyber pandemic going back a few months. And there was just a report talking about how one lone hacker shut down the internet in North Korea a couple times last month. So it seems like they're trying to seed this idea that hackers are going to take down the infrastructure.
Yeah, what they're doing, they're setting it up. Think about it this way. So you mean to tell me that your security is so flimsy and inferior that one dude in his mama's basement can take down the entire infrastructure of the power grid?
It's got a
Really?
powerful basement.
Really? No. Let me explain this to you guys who don't know. All right. So there's only a handful of top companies out there that actually have government contracts to supply internet security protocols to the federal government. Okay, large corporations with security clearances and all that stuff. All right, and they are the ones that are in charge of cybersecurity for all the different agencies of the United States federal government. All right, this is big boy stuff. This ain't no little small local thing. All right, this is big. These are multi-billion-dollar contracts. All right, they employ some of the world's greatest hackers to even work for them. All right, what they were doing back in the 90s was, the late 90s, early 2000s, if you were arrested for any type of, hacking, instead of putting you in prison, they would put you to work for the NSA and other government agencies. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Instead of going to prison, they said, nope, we're not wasting your talent in prison. You're working for us.
It's crazy.
That's what they were doing. So you got some of the greatest hacking minds in the world working for the United States federal government and protecting its agencies and infrastructure and information. So with that being said, every time you hear about a security breach at some company or some government agency, it is a lie. It is a bogus
the false flag debacle.
Yes.
With the Department of, was it the Department of Defense this week, where the reporter was like, what's the evidence? And he's like, that's it. He's like, what? He's like, I just said it. He's like, what's your evidence? And he says, my statement. It was one of the most ridiculous things, and it's getting played everywhere. But the amazing thing, you see the government actually using the term false flag. The guy, the reporter even says, this is like an Alex Jones thing, and you're just alleging it, But we've got to wrap it up. So what are your closing thoughts? What are you guys looking at this week? Cray America, what's your eye on? And then we'll go to Will, and then we'll wrap it up with Dex.
Oh, sorry, I had my headset on mute. guys told me that my headset or my mic was running hot today, and I didn't want to be breathing in everybody's ear.
If I had to have anybody breathe in my ear, let it be you.
Hot breath. No, as usual, I'm keeping my eye on Bitcoin. We're getting a nice rally right now. We broke through a trend line resistance, and we're bumping up against the bottom of the Kumo cloud on the daily right now. I'm just going to keep following trend as long as it keeps going up. The 4-hour indicators are getting a little bit tight, so I'm going to be tightening up my stops on that. So if anybody's in that trade, it might be worthwhile to take a look at that. But that's about it.
All right, cool. Will, how about you, buddy?
Well, pretty much similar to what Kramer has said. I'm looking to short Bitcoins. I'm waiting for that short squeeze when everybody is so, excited about getting back in. I think that's one of the best entry you can get in. So beside that, I think commodities are fine right now. So it's gonna be a tough economy going forward.
Things are getting weird. Dex, closing thoughts?
Let me think about it. Because we have a primary crash alert on crude oil, I'm looking at possibly making a play here tonight on that. So, yeah, that's what I'm watching. I'm also watching the U.S. stock indexes. I know we got data government data coming out. I think CPI this week and the jobless thing again with the claim. So I'm watching that to see what's what. I still haven't made up my mind yet, but I think my first trade of the week is going to be shorting the crude oil. I think it's going to pull back decent enough, maybe $1 or $2. I'm looking to make maybe anywhere from $1 to $3 on the trade, and then I'll be ready to reverse and get long again because I think it's going to break out after this little pullback. So I'm just watching oil right now, and the NASDAQ, of course.
All right, folks, get in the very same reports that Dex uses himself. Go to PulseWaveTrading.com and check out our memberships. We've got flexible plans for you. They're all awesome, and we'd love to have you. All right, we're over and out.
Peace.
Oh, thank God. I thought you forgot.